The book I chose is called In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. Its Lexile level is 1040, meaning that it is a book that is recommended for individuals grade 9 and up. The Lexile score itself is an indication of the difficulty of the book, or of books in general. That is determined by taking into account the complexity of the words used in it. Students usually receive their recommended level after taking a school test, or SRI test. Nevertheless, the reason I chose to read this book is because I listened to a band called Alt J, who created a song called In Cold Blood. However, I revisited the song after I finished the book, and I found out that only the name of the song was inspired by the actual book. Besides this, it is in no way related to the book. Also, I had asked my sister if she had read it, and she told me that she had and that she really enjoyed it. That said, In Cold Blood is a nonfiction book based on the murder of 4 members of the highly esteemed Clutter family. The 4 members that were killed were Mr. Clutter, a successful farmer, Mrs. Clutter, his mentally ill wife, Kenyon, their reserved, skillful son, and Nancy, their well-rounded daughter. And this all occurred in the town of Holcomb, Kansas, and the whole book revolves around the date November 15, 1959, which was the actual date that they were killed. Very early on in the first chapter, the fact that they were killed is introduced, and the remainder of the book, or the novel, surrounds this fact by giving various perspectives. From the perspective of the 2 murderers themselves, which is Dick and Perry, the town's perspective, and the investigator's perspective. Capote followed this case upon learning of it in a newspaper, and he extensively gathered information about the investigation. In essence, this book is a collaboration of official records and interviews he had with citizens in the surrounding community of Holcomb, which Capote manages to mold into a storyline. One part that I considered exciting or intriguing was how Perry Edward Smith, one of the 2 murderers, reflected upon the murder of the Clutter family. The text reads, "Spells of helplessness occurred, moments when he remembered things, blue light exploding in a black room, the glass eyes of a big toy bear, and when voices, a particular few words, started nagging his mind. Oh no, oh please, no, 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 don't, oh please don't, please." And certain sounds returned, a silver dollar rolling across the floor, footsteps on hardwood stairs, and the sound of breathing, the gasps, the hysterical inhalations of a man with a severed windpipe. This is one of the first times that details about the actual murder are explained, and how it torments Perry is one of the things that pulled me about the book, because towards the end of the book I started to sympathize with Perry to a certain extent, and it's something that I didn't expect to happen. This is one of the things that I really enjoyed about the book, and I thought it was really interesting how he explained how the society switches from being a protective and welcoming society to a preserved society in which no one could trust one another, despite their prior friendships. Given how the Clutter family was such a well-known and friendly family, it was difficult for families in the community to get along how they formerly did. Although there already had been former murders in the society, it didn't cause as big of an impact because they were not as well known as the Clutters. Overall, the various implications that the murder had, not only on the community but on the murderers themselves, is something that made the book really interesting for me and made it a book that I could recommend to others.